What's up, guys? Happy Thursday to you all. I want to make a quick video. I know a lot of us were in a weight loss program, and our primary goal and objective is to lose weight. But I want to take a minute to just kind of educate on the weight process and what it looks like and what it actually means for you. There's a reason we have our in-body scan, right? It's going to show us more data. It's going to be more telling on if your body's adapting and changing and getting leaner or not, and there's the first thing to kind of look at is like what really like influences weight change, right? And the first one is like water retention. So water retention is one of the main culprits to fluctuations in weights. If you guys look at your in-body scans, and you look at your how much water you have in you, a lot of you probably have 70, 80, 90, 100 pounds of water in your body at any given day. And you can easily see how that fluctuates based on like the sodium level, based on like the time of the month for some women, like based on what you ate the day before, based on if you worked out recently, so there's so many factors that can adjust or affect water retention, and if you maybe had a little more sodium the day before. Oops. Good old live TV. I forget that this light shuts off. But, what you had the day before can drastically impact, what the scale says. So, looking at like water retention as a primary factor. So if you're doing what you need to be doing, and maybe you had some sodium, or you worked out the day before, or you already worked out, and your water retention, or a lot of these other factors I mentioned could be affecting what the scale says. So don't always use that as your primary focus of the only way to see if you're getting results or not. Second is muscle mass. Muscle is much denser than body fat, meaning like a pound of muscle is like this big and a pound of fat is like this big. So a pound is still a pound. So a lot of people will say muscle weighs more than fat. Muscle doesn't weigh more than fat. A pound is still a pound, but it's denser, it's smaller version of it. So again, like I mentioned, like a body fat, a pound is much bigger than a pound of muscle mass. So what that means is you might, if you lose 5 pounds of body fat, but you gain 5 pounds of muscle, on the scale it says 0, but your body composition has actually changed by 10 pounds. And you guys are all doing a strength training program along with the weight loss program. So there's always going to be a factor of muscle, and that's always going to play a part in it. So, and then the third kind of influencer, if you will, of changes in the scale is kind of your food and water. Like, are you weighing yourself exactly the same time in the same manner? Ideally fully nude is optimal. Obviously, you can't do that if you're doing it in the gym. But have you emptied your bladder, if you will? Like, did you go to the bathroom recently? Like, so there's different aspects of that. So like, ideally, when you weigh yourself, try to do it in the same circumstances, and you're going to need to know this for when you do your scan next week. You want to have these same level of circumstances. So, like, did you go to the bathroom already? That's a key component. You want to make sure you do that. Are you weighing yourself like in the same situation that you did the week prior? Like, is it the same time of day? Is it in relatively other frequent situations, meaning like you did it before a workout or not after a workout one day, like I said, did you do it around the same time? Like, try to keep the consistent variables the same, because that's going to allow you to have a little bit more of an understanding of what's more true and what's not. And so those are kind of like the three most like impromptu influencers, if you will. But the other things that you want to look at to see if you're making progress are kind of these other three things. And one is like, how are you feeling? Like, are you noticing less fatigue? Are you noticing more energy? Are you noticing, how are you waking up in the morning? Are you feeling more like rejuvenated? Are you feeling more like alert and ready to go? Do you have more energy, like sustainable throughout the day? How do you feel at work? How do you feel in your workouts? Like, within your performance, like start to pay attention to how you're feeling during this, because that's a true tale to say your body's making the adaptations. And I wish I could say it's a black and white situation that everybody after 1 week their body is adapted and they're ready to start focusing on body fat, but everybody is a little bit different. So the first thing you want to look at before weight loss is the biological changes in your body, like in some of those things I mentioned, like your mood, your sleep, your sex drive, your bathroom habits, like all of that stuff, if you start to notice a positive improvement in those, that means your body is starting to get ready to focus on body fat loss, which is obviously good. The second thing that you can track progress is, and this is part of the reason we do this during the challenge, is your performance or your fitness levels. Are you noticing workouts are more manageable for you? Are you noticing you're able to go for a longer stretch without having to stop? Are you able to challenge yourself and lift heavier weights? And if you're not, make sure you're trying to, because that's a big way to help lose weight, is to push and challenge yourself beyond the next level of what you did before. Maybe not every session, but like every week or every 2 weeks, try to improve, try to get some level of improvement and have the coaches help you with that. That's a huge way to lose body fat and weight. But looking at, like, are you making improvements in your fitness levels, and look at the weekly challenges. Are you getting improvement in your pull-ups? Are you getting improvement in your ability to do the bike faster? Like, what are you getting more improvements there? And then my last one to look at progress markers are, how are your clothes fitting? Because I already mentioned, muscle mass is denser, it's smaller than fat. So a pound of muscle versus a pound of fat is a much smaller variation. So looking at that, are you noticing differences in how you look? It might be harder for you because you see yourself every day, but maybe ask somebody that only sees you every few days or every couple weeks or whatever, if you look any different to them. But looking at your clothes and noticing, are you feeling any difference there? Because that's going to be telling. So maybe put on a pair of jeans that you haven't worn in a few weeks and see if you see any differences there, and just staying with the process, because it's the number one thing I found in 14 years doing weight loss is the key to success is not being perfect or not like having a consistent line of weight loss. It never happens this way, ever, ever, ever in my lifetime. I've seen it and I've worked with thousands of people. Is it 2 pounds, 2 pounds, 1 pound, 3 pounds, 2 pounds? It's never like that, right? It's like 2 pounds, 3 pounds, gain a pound, like even, like 3 pounds, up 2 pounds. Like it's always cyclical. It's never, a linear process, it's always up and down. But over time, you get to where you need to. So the biggest thing that you want to do is do some of the things I mentioned in this video when you are weighing yourself. But secondly is just stay consistent with the process, because that is the key to making it sustainable. That is the key to getting real results and your ability to stick with them. So that's my little spiel today, guys. Hopefully that helps. Let me know if you have any clarifying questions below. Just comment and tag me in it.